I watched my dad smile at Victor, the man who ruined my last year, and hand him the deal I'd been working my life for. My chest tightened, and I felt the world collapse in a single heartbeat. "I trusted you," I whispered, my voice shaking. My own father had chosen my enemy over me. "My name is Caden, and this betrayal cut deeper than any knife." If you're ready to follow my story, hit subscribe. This is only the beginning. But as I turned to leave the room, I caught a flicker of hesitation in my dad's eyes, something he wasn't showing Victor. Victor laughed, the sound crawling under my skin. I realized he didn't know that I had evidence of every underhanded thing he had ever done. As he gloated, I felt a plan forming. But before I could speak, my dad called me over, his expression unreadable. Was he questioning his choice, or was he testing me? I had to tread carefully. At dinner, my dad kept glancing at me, his silence louder than any accusation. Victor, smug and overconfident, didn't notice the subtle warnings I left on his documents the day before. One wrong move, and his empire would crumble. But would I have the courage to strike first, knowing my dad might never forgive me? The next morning, I overheard a conversation between my dad and Victor that made my stomach twist. Victor had been manipulating him for months, feeding lies I had proven false weeks ago. My heart raced. Could my dad see the truth if it hit him in the face? I knew I had to show him. I confronted my dad in the garage. "Why him?" I demanded, holding back tears. He avoided my eyes. Then, unexpectedly, he admitted Victor had some leverage he thought he couldn't ignore. My jaw dropped. I realized my dad wasn't heartless, he was scared. That scared admission became my key. Victor called me later that day, threatening to ruin a project I had been planning for months. I smiled calmly, pretending fear while secretly setting a trap. My dad was away on a meeting, and the house felt emptier than ever. Could I manage the storm alone? I revealed Victor's secret to a powerful ally he didn't know I had been in contact with for months. Suddenly, he became the one on edge. But as I celebrated in my head, a text from my dad arrived. "Caden, we need to talk. Now." My victory felt incomplete, and I knew this conversation would change everything. Dad confronted me in his office. My chest tightened. Was he angry at me or Victor? To my surprise, he asked questions I didn't expect, almost apologetic. He admitted he had feared losing both of us, my loyalty and Victor's influence. I realized this was my chance to flip the situation. I orchestrated a scenario where Victor would publicly reveal his manipulations, but only if my dad was present. The tension at the meeting was unbearable. I watched Victor's confidence crumble, but my dad's silence still haunted me. Would he finally see who truly had his back? The fallout was immediate. Victor was exposed to his partners, but he tried one last desperate move to regain control. My dad hesitated, and I stepped in. I defended him, shielded him from the chaos, showing the loyalty he hadn't noticed until now. For the first time, I saw respect in his eyes. Victor disappeared for a week, plotting revenge. Meanwhile, my dad tried to make amends, but I couldn't forgive completely, not yet. I devised a subtle plan to ensure Victor could never return. My loyalty would become my power. I discovered a hidden contract Victor had forged, designed to take everything from me legally. My heartbeat raced. This was bigger than I thought. If my dad saw it now, would he finally trust me fully? Or would it backfire? I leaked the contract to Victor's biggest client, framing it as if I was just a concerned friend. chaos erupted. Victor lost credibility overnight. My dad, watching quietly, finally nodded at me, not just with relief, but with pride. The scales were slowly tipping in my favor. Victor tried to return to threaten me, but this time I wasn't alone. I had allies who owed me favors, people Victor never imagined. The confrontation was tense, words sharp as knives, but I stood my ground. My dad watched silently, then surprisingly stepped behind me. Dad admitted something I never thought I'd hear. He realized he had misjudged me from the start. His fear of Victor had blinded him. For the first time, he asked for guidance. The roles reversed. I was the protector, the strategist, the one he depended on. Victor's final scheme involved exposing our family's secrets to ruin our reputation. But I had anticipated it. I turned the evidence back on him, revealing that he had been manipulating even his own team. The walls closed in around him. My dad finally acknowledged me in front of everyone. He praised my intelligence and loyalty. I felt a strange mix of relief and satisfaction. But Victor wasn't finished. He threatened one final attack through a mutual connection. I had only hours to stop him. I confronted Victor in a quiet warehouse, far from witnesses. The tension was suffocating. Every move he made I predicted. In the end, it wasn't brute force but careful planning and unwavering loyalty that defeated him. My dad, once doubtful, arrived just in time to see it all. Victor's empire crumbled. My dad turned to me, no longer hesitant, no longer fearful. He said words I had longed to hear. Caden, you were right. You were the one I should have trusted from the start. My heart swelled, but I reminded him that loyalty is earned, not given freely. In the aftermath, I rebuilt everything that had been threatened. Victor was gone, my dad finally understood my worth, and I had proven my loyalty when it mattered most. But the lesson lingered. Betrayal can hurt, but loyalty, true, unwavering loyalty, always wins. I looked at my dad, smiled, and whispered, "Next time, choose wisely."